morning from AYOGEN TV on Political Circuit this morning. Welcome to another episode of Political Circuit on AYOGEN TV. I am Charles Olowe Uluwafemi and I have my co-host with me in the house this morning.
I'm Adewisola Dejabi. You're welcome back to another episode of Political Circuit on AYOGEN TV. Stay tuned and watch back as we give you the updates, happenings in Osun State as we discuss controversies surrounding PDP and APC in Osun State. Stay tuned and watch from our Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram channel.
And also, we are to let you know that on this program, here we talk about the national issue, right from security challenge, politics, leadership, education, economics, or anything that talks about Nigeria. Then we bring in analysts. We bring in professionals in different fields, in different walks of life, who come here to talk and analyze issue topics that are trending. So today is just like the previous episode we've been having. So we'll be talking on Osun election today. So as we know that election in Osun State is fast approaching in the next few couple of months, July 16th precisely. So election we hold in Osun State, and we have about 18 candidates who are contesting for this single position in Osun State. And not just that alone, we have Osun State PDP chapter who have conducted the election, but after the primary, there are a lot of controversy that surround the emergence of Senator Ademola Adeleke, and also we have Dotun Babayemi. The same thing happened in APC. They had primary election which was successful, and it was a grand style success of win for the incumbent governor. Actually, what do you expect? Do you expect an incumbent governor?
You know, as an incumbent governor, it is tough to defeat an incumbent governor when it comes to elections, primary election in the state, because personally is the chief security officer of the state, and you know it's down to him that you need to bend to his rule when it comes to primary elections, and all security apparatus are with him. So you don't expect Oyetola to lose on a ground like that. And don't forget, he has the backing of Tinubu, and you know, back from the day of being a chief of staff to Rauf Aregbesola, it has always been Tinubu who brought this man onto board in politics. It is actually done on Alhaji Akano from Iragbiji, who was to be the chief of staffs. But you know, Tinubu, who is the mastermind of all this game, bring in Oyetola into the game, and it's all done on Oyetola. And don't forget, Tinubu is also jostling for presidency ambition, so he needs Oyetola to make sure that he delivers Osun State for him.
Okay, just like you said that Oyetola, you didn't expect him to lose being that, but I want to take you to the memory lane of what happened between Ambode.
You know, that's the reason why I said you don't expect someone that Tinubu brought into the political limelight to lose election in that way.
Tinubu brought Ambode to the
system. It was a clash of interest and the long run, which made the two parties to fall apart.
Okay. Yeah, there's a factor we have to consider for him to actually win his second tenure as a
sitting governor.
Yeah. So during the last couple of months, we've been heard different kind of exchange of words, war of word between the governor and his predecessor,
which is the Minister of Interior, Rauf Aregbesola.
And we can even say how he was being embarrassed after the primary election. So what are those things? And you know, they are in the same party. Aregbesola has his loyalists, has a number of people who are loyal to him, and which are majorly based in Osun State. We have people that are to determine or to ask a lot of things to contribute to the success of Mr. or Alhaji Oyetola being the governor in the next few months. So do you think the grievances between them has been settled?
But actually, the grievances did not start today. It started when I think Rauf Aregbesola is from the Salinsili caucus of Alliance for Democracy, which are later metamorphosed into Action Congress of Nigerians thing. And like I said earlier on, you know, the tragedy that happens now has actually started back then during the course of Rauf Aregbesola and when he emerged as the governor, then in 2007, after the court already made him the governor, when Oyinlola actually is leading the affairs in Osun State. And then Rauf Aregbesola actually had his own chief of staff in mind before Tinubu brought in Oyetola. And
which he could not turn down.
He could not turn down. And then, coupled with the fact that the age factor is there, Rauf Aregbesola was 53 years old then, well, Alhaji Isaac Gboyega Oyetola was 56 years. So at some point in time when it is down that Rauf Aregbesola is leaving the Abere house then to pursue another ambitions. So Oyetola actually confront him on some issues lingering in the state. That is when the crisis actually started. And don't forget that Rauf Aregbesola actually have his own candidate, which is Alhaji Adeoti. So, it is clash of balls and
clash of interest.
Clash of interest. And, when it comes to politics is always a game of interest.
Exactly.
And your interest will definitely supersede. And that is how the whole things metamorphose, and it leads to public war of words.
If politics is just a game of interest, that means we have two interests. We have Jagaban, whose interest is Oyetola, and we have Oyetola. Yeah. So, but I think it's a combination of interest and influence.
Exactly.
Because if it's left to the Rauf Aregbesola, he doesn't care about APC losing them.
Definitely, he doesn't care what happened.
Yes, he made his intention know that, okay, who he wants is Adeoti to take over after him.
Definitely before the first tenure of Isaac Gboyega Oyetola, it was even Adeoti Aregbesola was actually vying for. But then they actually come in and have an in-house meeting, which means he had to settle for Oyetola and he needs to campaign. You could see what happened at the poll, that the campaign was not even enough. People were even saying Aregbesola was not even supporting Oyetola because they need to meet with Omishore when it was tied, to bring in Omishore in so that they could win the inconclusive elections on the side of Oyetola.
And do you think the bringing Omishore factor into the system led to the victory? No.
No. The reason why I said bringing in Omishore actually led to their victory is because they solely believe that the Ife, which is the constituency of Omishore, will not vote for Oyetola and is in his captive. So they need something to woo him, bring him in on their side in order to make sure that he deliver Ife for them.
Okay. But it's just a kind of a form, in politics, one thing I've seen from these people is they have game plan, they have their formulas they want to use. So they will just try to play every game in such a way that it will not be obvious. It was obvious that the rerun election, or the inconclusive election was a robbery, daylight robbery. We could all recall how people are being disenfranchised from performing their franchise. We can say how people are brutalized by people. And we could recall that it was selected.
And we should not even forget that we have a lot of mediocres that even sell their votes.
That sell their votes. Even the second rerun election was nothing to write on about in this 21st century of democracy we are practicing. Okay, and very quickly, I would like to give a brief update from the INEC commissioner in Osun State. It says that was a few days ago, Osun 2018 candidates will contest election. So according to him, 4 months to the July 16 governorship election in Osun State, the State Resident Electoral Commission, Professor Abdulgani Olayinka on Monday revealed that 18 candidates are to be filled for the 18 different political parties. So which means we have 18 parties.
Now, yes, we have 18 individuals just for just a single seat.
In my research, I've been trying to even gather and collate the list of these parties. But the fact still remains that I could only phantom just two
parties, which is PDP and APC.
So are we now going to say that PDP and APC are at it again, or we should look out to a new party?
That actually, I could have loved to look out for a new party.
Like what party?
Because what actually happened
like
then?
ADC,
which Adeoti actually contest for them. But now Adeoti is also in the APC. Everybody is in APC, even though there is an aggrieved APC. But there is always a time when there will be an in-house meeting to settle all these stuff. So let's just hope it is just APC and PDP this time around again.
Okay. So he said something that we therefore solicit for your unalloyed support and genuine advice on every aspect of our operation. So the INEC in Osun State, the commissioner for INEC in Osun State, is trying all his best to ensure that there is fair, credible, and a very transparent election in Osun State. So which they are making their plight and their request known that just they are open to every instruction, any advice that will bring about a modern election in Osun State, where there will not be any shed of blood of any kind, a riot-free election. So, but today on our program, we just like our act, just like how we do often, we are going to be having our guest. In the next few minutes, we'll bring in our guest, a political analyst who hails from Osun State, who will be talking on Osun Decide 2022. So just stay tuned as we be right back. Stay tuned to AYOGEN TV.
Back on Political Circuit on AYOGEN TV. As you all know, we've been having a little discussion before we bring in our guest. Permit me to introduce to the viewers at home our comrade Alabi Abdullah. You're welcome to Political Circuit again.
Thank you, my brother. Good morning, everybody. Good morning, Nigerians.
Yeah, it's good to have you once again as our constant political analyst. This morning we are considering Osun 2022 election, so Osun in view. So today we want to talk about the controversy, the stakes involved for both parties, the major contestants, both APC and PDP, because these are the major parties people can reckon with that are serious-minded about this, or that have opportunity or higher percentage to emerge or to be victorious in this coming election. So, and also we'll be talking on the chances for each aspirant and things that are involved. So we need to know that, okay, what are things they need to do. We are going to assess the political antecedent of the incumbent governor for the past 4 years. What are things he has done? Has he achieved enough to the height or to the point of being reconsidered for the second tenure? And also we're going to look at the senatorial antecedent of Senator, whom we believe that will eventually be a flag bearer for PDP. That, okay, is it the right time for him to become the governor of the state? Do you think he's the best person that can push Osun State out of his present predicaments? So what's your view about Osun election in view, as we know that in the next couple of months to come, the election will hold across the state?
Actually, when we are talking about Osun election, you know, as far as Nigeria is concerned, Osun election is quite different from other states' election.
So what makes it different? What are the peculiarities? Why do you say, okay, it's different from other elections?
This is why I said Osun state election is quite different from other elections. You know, we have so many people, we have so many resources who are vying for a single position. And we are going to be having a very, very, very strong personnel aspiring for this same position. And that's why I said our Osun state election is quite different. And that is why in Osun State...
It is even obvious it is different from the other gubernatorial election, because their own is coming up in few months time, not the likes of the general election we have in 2023.
Yes, that's why you see Osun people will be saying, they used to say once on that Osun did not resemble any other states.
Exactly.
That Osun is not, and it's not because of any other thing, it's because of the political strategies that they make use of in Osun State. You know, about the issue of APC and PDP, like seriously, these are the two political parties as far as Nigeria is concerned today.
Not just in Osun State.
Not just in Osun State.
In Nigeria
as a whole.
Okay.
It's only that even if you see someone that you see, when we are saying, okay, someone is in ADC, someone is in ADP, someone is this, go and look at
they all have their origin from these two
parties. Because at times we have people who are aggrieved and they said, okay, with the camp, we cross keepers to Accord, we cross keepers to ADC, we cross keepers to Labour Party. They are the same set of people from APC and PDP.
Yes, that is exactly what I'm saying. But now let's now go back to Osun. When we are talking about Osun, we are talking about maybe, actually formally, I was thinking that Oyetola is going nowhere. But from what is happening as far as PDP is concerned, I can say vividly that I think Oyetola is coming back to the government. He's coming back to that seat.
To be the governor.
So, in
your own opinion, you are of the opinion that Oyetola has the highest percentage to win the election?
Yes.
Okay. What are the factors you are considering, or what are the things you think position him to be the best, or to be ahead of other 17 contestants?
The reason behind that is this. You know, when a particular set of people are aspiring for a particular position, you know, there are some things that you need to put in place. For instance, you look at their capability and their capacity. Other aspirants that they are contesting in one position or the other, they have the potential ability or the capacity that this person is having.
Okay.
Would they pull the same crowd that he can pull?
Okay,
are you saying Senator Ademola Adeleke cannot pull a crowd?
Listen, Senator Ademola Adeleke cannot rule Osun.
No. You are talking of crowd. if you are talking of crowd,
that means the electorate.
The electorate
People that want to exercise their franchise.
Yeah,
on the day
when
of
we look
election.
at the situation of things in Osun State, we are going to be realistic and not being political. These two people, Ademola has never been a governor. Oyetola have been. Everyone can say. When he was given an opportunity, he has never been in any political office that has been voted for, except being
chief of
staff. So if he was considered then, that means Adeleke, having served as a senator representing the constituency, has the stake. Because let's look at the political incident and his record as a senator too. Are we going to write off his achievement as a senator? And when we look at the case of Oyetola, when he was the chief of staff, he has everything that could have worked against him. Now what? Remember that Governor Rauf, Ogbeni Rauf, then, Adesoji then, hold people a lot of money, a lot of salary were being compared, and kind of allowances and too many things, a lot of economic meltdown, half salary and the like, to the extent that majority of what should I call it? Majority of the citizen, the electorate that elect him into the office, were unable to feed. We experienced a lot of protests here and there, campaign against a system of government. So yet, he was given an opportunity. And remember, who is the brain box behind the system that Aregbe ran then? Was it not the chief of staff? Okay. Now, if all those things fail to work against him then, now that we have Adeleke, who people know generally as a generous man and the likes,
dancing senator.
Dancing senator. Yes. I'm not disparting the fact that he's a dancing senator. Yeah, he's a very good dancer. Even that's Africa Jackson. Okay. Remember. So now, with his capacity, with his family background, the strength, and he also have a lot of strength as well when we consider it. So when we consider the negative factor that could have worked against Oyetola then, but failed due to some political factors, involvement of the like of Tinubu and the Ife people that eventually rally around to support him during the rerun election. So I think we should look beyond that. Okay, he has never been a governor. But let's look at what do people really want.
Okay, now this is what I'm saying. You haven't get the picture of what I'm saying.
Okay.
Now let me give you a definition of what I'm saying. When I say Adeleke is not ripe for Osun State governor, when we're talking about Osun State, I've said this earlier on, Osun State is quite different from other states. If you go to rule Osun, as an individual, as an entity that you go to rule Osun, I am saying it categorically, you must be mad.
Okay.
An ordinary citizen cannot rule Osun State. No, I'm from Osun State. An ordinary citizen cannot rule Osun State. Osun is quite different from Ondo State, it's quite different from Lagos State. That is just it. And if you are looking at all these states that we're talking about, who are those people ruling them? Do not forget that Oyetola, the former governor of Osun State, is once Lagos State governor, military governor. Do not forget that Aregbesola
has served as
commissioner
in Osun in
Lagos State, two-time commissioner in Lagos State. When we talk about this, Oyetola as well, he has served in Lagos State, and he's now coming. And when we are talking about, there is difference between the gubernatorial seats and the Senate seats or the rep seats.
Okay.
When we are talking about this rep or the Senate seats, you can be a senator or you can be an honorable for more than 30 years and without active, and you might not be active. But it is never like that when we are talking about gubernatorial seats.
You mentioned a point that struck my heart. You make mention of the like of Oyinlola, Aregbesola, and even the incumbent governor that they've all served in Lagos State. Are you not trying to say that Lagos State should always be a testing ground, or more, anyone who will rule in Osun State must have served in Lagos State, because all your citation has been in Lagos State. So are you now saying that, okay, people that are at home building their political, that are very close, so if that is the case, that is why they are not performing. I can accord their failure to the fact that they don't understand the system of the background politics. Because when you ignore people that are there in Osun State, living with them, have their properties, spend all their lives in Osun State, and you abandon them for people that come from Lagos, and after they lose all, at the end of their regime, they go back to Lagos. Now look at Aregbesola. After his tenure, he moved back to Lagos. Okay. Which means, had it been Oyetola lose during the last election, he will have to travel back to Lagos as well. So what are we trying to communicate? Is that how the system of that, okay, let me cite the governor of Ondo State as well. He also based in Ibadan. He has his estate and everything in Ibadan. So now, after his tenure now, all eyes is on him that he's relocating back to Ibadan. So is this how I expect every political officer to be with the people, whereby they understand how they feel, what they are passing through. Majority of them, they don't know what the people of Osun State are even passing through. When you go check through the roads in some major city roads in Osun State, you see how dilapidated and how they are just like canal. They are just a route to hell or to grave.
Now, seriously, I really understand what you're saying. What I'm saying is this. This is Osun State. I've said it time without number, that Osun politics is quite different from other politics. PDP would have been a very good opposition party, or a stronger opposition party, in order to defeat APC. But they are coming up with the wrong candidates.
Okay, now let me take it up from you. Like you said, that PDP are coming up with the wrong candidates. Now, we have two factions in PDP presently. We have the Wali Ojo factions and we have Sunday Adebisi factions. Under the Sunday Adebisi factions, that is where Demola Adeleke came from, and they have the backing of the National Secretary. And where the Wali Ojo is actually rooting for Dotun Babayemi. Now, the two factions the primary elections on two different soil. The Wali Ojo factions produce Dotun Babayemi, while the BC Sundays are produced Ademola Adeleke. Now, don't you think that with the two candidates from the same political party, don't you think there will be a crisis when it comes to the gubernatorial elections in July 16? How will they produce two candidates for a single party?
And who will even be presented?
Now, that is what I'm saying. You just get the picture of what I'm saying now. How would two entities from the same political party aspiring for the same seats? Definitely, if the votes that are coming from that political party, if it's 50, definitely party A might be having 30, while this other one might be having 20, or they will be having 25, 25. They will split the votes.
Mr. Abdullah, is not even possible, because two candidates cannot run under a party. There is going to be a ticket, just one ticket for the party, which I believe, all this game is a political game, which which is understood by majority of politicians out there. I'm not a politician, so I'm doing my work here, but I believe that there are two things like this that happen on those states as well. If you remember, I think that's happened in Ekiti as well. So that you are going to have two candidates until few days or a week to the election. There will be a lot of tribunal, different cases, adjournment of court in politics. So most of these are eventually got to know that they are the practice of opposition that are trying to use some elements in the party that are not fully loyal to just cause something. Yeah, so that they can. So now, if eventually, which I believe it will happen, that the other counterparts will be dropped for Adeleke, which is very obvious. We all know that when it comes to strength and some other thing within the party, Adeleke will be victorious eventually from the party. We can even see that from their primary election. But I don't know what came up that you can say, okay, you declare yourself. To the extent they even go to the court of law to pursue their victory without any. We always believe in Nigeria that anybody who has the highest votes
is the winner.
Sure.
So I don't know where someone who has 2 votes will be claiming to be the winner. So what do you think Osun State election we have on, what will be the implication on the ambition of Tinubu? Let's come from the angle of
now,
APC.
From the angle of APC, you know, Tinubu will not want to jeopardize his ambition. And that is why he's trying to hold Osun tight. You know, if you're looking at all this thing now, the Southwest governors now, they are all from the same political party, which is APC.
Except Makinde.
Except Makinde. And even though if we are looking at this Makinde, if we are looking at Makinde very well, he's having a very good rapport with these governors.
You know, he's a transparent, he's a lover of development growth for his region.
That is what I'm saying.
He's not a full-time, he's a businessman in politics. And when you say majority of his achievements, because he doesn't believe in government, he believes in quality,
Sure.
and which are things that it's obvious that even non-PDP in Oyo State can say his achievements.
Sure. That's sure. And that's what I'm not saying. Now, if we are saying, okay, truly Tinubu Jagaban is aspiring for the post of presidency. Now, everything that he needs, he must be putting it in place right start from this moment. And that is why he will not want to lose Osun State to PDP, because he knows that once he loses Osun State to PDP, is another thing entirely.
But don't you know that majority of agitation and grievance people are having in Southwest as regard APC are because of Tinubu? Look at Osun State. Many people believe that Osun is a state on its own, but under the influence of decision of Tinubu. So Tinubu has been the major concern of majority of the citizens, or southwestern and here. So the majority of the citizens believe that, okay, what has been the major development, aside his building political personnel and the likes, what has been his contribution in the life of people in Southwest, despite being the high chief in APC?
Now,
He's only raising, people believe that he's only raising men who give him returns, who he need to build for his own political ambition of becoming a president, which is obvious. It's becoming glaring that that's what he wants to achieve. But people that what about in terms of humanity, social infrastructure, there's nothing costing or there's nothing that will cost him to have a major industry or factory in all 6 states in Southwest. But what are except Lagos State, where in other states in Southwest, can you point out these are the impacts of Tinubu, except him sending people he has built politically to go and be the governor and cause them up, bring policies that are not palatable, that is not suitable for them, that lead to all this economic salary and the likes. But he always gets his return from every one of them monthly. So these are the problems. Do you think the Osun people will want Tinubu to still have influence over every decision of sectors in Osun State?
My dear brothers, see, there is one thing that we fail to understand. This is politics. Everybody is trying to build his own empire.
Okay.
Now, when we are talking about Tinubu, although I'm not a politician anyway, so when we are talking about Tinubu coming up and we say, okay, someone is a particular person is aspiring for the post of governor in his own state. See, there are reasons behind all these things in which we all have to look into. Now, you said he's having return. Yes, I can't dispute that fact that he's having return from these people. But no, this is as a result of what we Nigerians, what we've caused, and as a result of where we put ourselves with ourselves. Because in a situation whereby you and I, we are living in the same community, I'm aspiring, or you are aspiring for a particular position in that same community, and I find it so difficult to support you just because you don't have money, and someone is coming from for instance that we are having a student in Ondo town here, and someone is coming from Abuja, or someone is coming from Lagos, someone is coming from Akure with dollars. Now, okay, okay, come and take this, and I'm collecting it from such a person, and I didn't work for you as my fellow, as my brother. We are living together in the same community, and I'm giving my vote to my support to another person.
Let's take a look at it from this angle. We have 3 senatorial districts in Osun State, and which is the Osun Central, Osun West, and Osun East. Each senatorial district that actually produce governor, except West, which is Alhaji Isiaq Adeleke of late memory. He won the election in 1991, but due to the military coup, then they have to make sure everyone got out of the office. So we can actually say the West has not enjoyed the dividends of democracy when it comes to politics in Osun State. Don't you think it is high time for them to produce a governor? Or it should, because if we could look at it, Central has already produced BC Akande, they've already produced Onyilola, and Iragbiji, which is from Elisha, if I'm right, is also from this same senatorial district. Don't you think it is high time that the West produce a governorship candidate?
Yes, we're supposed to produce a gubernatorial candidate, but you know the issue that they're having in their senatorial district. Their central is being governed by a particular family.
Okay, so that means there is a family factors.
Because of family factors. Family factors, and that is what is depriving them. It's only this same Adeleke family that they believe that they have the ability to become governor or to become anything. They have to.
And don't you think that was the reason why Baba Yemi is trying to stop the ambition of Isiaq Adeleke? Because in the second elections that was held for the Adeleke's camp, it is actually obvious that Baba Yemi did not have a vote. And if you want to vote, there should be a particular vote for myself as a candidate. Yes. I need to cast a vote for myself. How do we see things? Where do we get it wrong? Where do PDP get it wrong this time around?
Now, let's just I'm sorry for a little bit digression. Let's go back to on the memory lane. When we are talking about the senators representing this senatorial district, right from onset, they are from this particular, from Baba to the late Adeleke, from this late Adeleke to the present Ademola Adeleke. Now, the only gubernatorial election that was won from that senatorial district
is from Isiaq Adeleke.
Isiaq Adeleke, which is Adeleke's family. Now, you know, and they were not the only one, and that is why you see so many people coming out that okay, at least we too we are contributing to the development of this senatorial district. Exactly. So definitely we too are having rights, the same right that you are having. We're having the same rights. And if you go back, if you go back to Eden now, from series of videos and some news that I'm hearing, you see these people are killing themselves daily, day in, day out.
On the daily basis.
On the daily basis. Today that I will not be able to mention some names here. There is a particular gubernatorial candidate mother that was killed, and they even have to bring out her intestine and take the intestine away. And I was even told that even though that particular candidate brother, his elder brother and his younger brother were
Don't you think that is a political tussle which actually leads to you killing your opposition mother and the likes? We shouldn't lingering it to a crisis in a town.
That is what I'm not saying. As these people they are going to that position for the masses. Definitely they will not be having any issue with themselves by killing one another.
Yeah, but you said something that it has always been Adeleke family. Yeah, but during the primary election, everything they've been doing are within the provision of the Constitution.
My dear brother, when we are talking about the provision of Constitution, calm down. This is one thing that we all know that as far as Nigeria is concerned, if you want to be on a particular seat, you have to be the highest bidder.
Okay, now.
And it has to do with.
Okay, now.
And it has to do with delegates. You have to be the highest bidder.
Let me take you let me take you back afar to a memory. That like I said, that we have two camps presently in PDP. We have the Wale Ojo and we have Sunday BC camp. The Sunday BC camp is having alliance with the National Secretary of PDP, and court already affirmed that Wale Ojo is the chairman of PDP in Osun State. Don't you think Ademola Adeleke would throw his weight away for contesting in this July 16 gubernatorial election?
Well, that might be truth anyway. You know, that is why I said PDP is coming out with a wrong candidate. Adding B is another post that PDP is coming out with now. I can be saying that they're having a very, I can be giving them.
But don't forget, this same man actually gave Oyetola a tough time during the first elections, which led to inconclusive election. It was even obvious that it was a daylight robbery.
Yes.
But you know, it is politics on their side.
You know, that's why I said APC is a party of, they have so many strategies that they're using. If strategy A is not working,
they will opt for
they
strategies
always
B.
involve
They will use strategies B.
killing people, deny people's right to vote. You know, that's illegal. That's crime, and it's also a civil wrong.
No.
It is.
No. You are getting one thing wrong.
Okay, what's that?
Now, I told you, I said I'm from Osun State. I'm from Ilobo, Osun State.
Yeah.
Now, doing that to rerun election,
yes.
We have some political units in Ife. We have some political.
I was opportune to be there.
We have one or two at Ifon, which is very, very close to my own place. Now, do you know what these people did? You know, that's why I said this is a political game between these two political parties. PDP, do you know what PDP did then? PDP have to camp their people. They evacuate their people from those political, from those units. From those polling, they have to take them to some hotels in Ede. And unfortunately, as the incumbents, an APC has the incumbent power.
Yes, which is Rauf Aregbesola then.
Yes, their belief is that, the PDP's belief is that early in the morning on the rerun day, that they will bring back these people to that place to come and vote. But unfortunately, APC have to block them with security that nobody must come in and nobody must go out. And that is why these people are unable to vote. And those people that they were there presently, that they are able to vote, do you know what they did? They are telling these people, they are telling these political parties that, okay, until when you give us money, that is when we can vote.
Which means someone
that collected 100,000 naira for a single vote. 100,000 naira for a single vote. What I'm not saying.
Yeah. That means people are selling their, let me say, they are selling their bet right away. They are selling their franchise.
And that is why I say,
PDP already has opened, let me say, they have opened the road for APC. But I want us to shift back to the present governor. With what we've seen in Osun State, with what we've actually heard from Osun State, do you think Oyetola deserve the mandate of second term?
Forget about Oyetola
did not deserve second term.
Okay.
He didn't. That is why I said PDP it would have been a very good party. I think they are not coming out with
a crisis. They are not having crisis. They could have make
sure that
Oyetola feel the heat.
Yes, from my own side now, I didn't see anything that this man is doing specifically. Now, if someone will be saying something, say, what of Olaya's bridge?
Exactly.
What's Olaya's bridge?
Achievement?
Is that ever an achievement? The bridge that cannot contain three vehicles that cannot walk on the bridge. Is that a bridge? I call it a flyover. That is a flyover. So that is
even economically, Osun State has not grown, despite the fact that this same man has a very good CV He has been in the system.
For
He was once
8 years.
executive vice chairman of Paragon Group of Companies. He was one chairman of Ebony Property Limited. He was one directorate in Pyramid Security Limited. This thing, we never see it metamorphose. And APC still give him this chance of becoming their flag bearers in July 16 gubernatorial election.
That is why I cannot blame Ogbeni. When during the primary election that
he was agitating,
he doesn't want
him
him
to go for
in the last election, Ogbeni did not support him.
It was obvious
until the rerun election.
Was yeah.
Because until the rerun election.
And he just have to be there because he's from the party and
yes,
still the governor.
and that is why he said, okay, that's why I have to tell these people that, okay, my people, if that will be the case, let's just give him a chance.
To go back, to make it up.
Yes, to make it. And now he's coming back again, is that you want to go for the, and like seriously to me, see, the only thing I know that Nigeria, if you're a governor or a president, the only time you can succeed in office is when you didn't see the past regime as a failure.
Okay. So are you saying Oyetola say his predecessor is
master? Yes.
You know he served under him.
He served under him. He was the chief of staff.
Yeah.
And now, when you are the chief of staff,
which even the governor is not even having a certain on him.
Yeah. Okay. If Oyetola is not blaming the government of Rauf, then he should be blamed because he's the chief of staff. He's not the center at the heart of the majority of the nation.
Let me just give you a tip of it. Go
that
and
means
look at
he's a failure too.
Everything that Aregbe has done, this man has changed everything.
Yes, exactly.
You remove all Aregbe's hand from, and now look at
even
what is causing now.
Some policy in education.
Yes, look at what is causing now. And these are the things that gang up against him. And to be sincere, if it's not that PDP is having crisis as far as that state is concerned, I can give PDP 75 or 80%.
Do you know that when it comes to resolution, PDP has a way of setting some things.
PDP did not have any way of resolution.
They will.
I'll tell you this.
Now, you can't compare Ondo State PDP with Osun PDP.
Okay.
In Osun PDP and Oyo PDP, they are different, and Ekiti PDP. They are different set of people. But when you look at Osun, when you look at the way they do their things, majority of these people that are just trying to agitate like the other opponent that, okay, he wants to contest at the Kiniko and the likes. Now, the question is, does he have all the resources? If Adeleke failed to contest again, don't you believe, or are you not aware that he will be the major sponsor of anything? And when you look at those who have been sponsoring majority of the programs in the PDP, the affairs, it has been from this set of people which are behind Adeleke. It's normal to have some set of people that are agitating for this and the right, maybe due to marginalization and the like. But now, what if the issue is resolved? Do you think it's going to be easy for Oyetola, or it's going to be a replicate of the last election?
It's not going to be an easy task for Oyetola.
So are you still going to give it 70-30 or what? Just give it a score for both candidates.
Now, this is just the issue. If PDP is coming out with a single voice, and with some alliance,
definitely,
I can give them.
And hope you know that when you look at Elisha, Ife, Ede, all these people will go with PDP.
They can
because this set of people have been marginalized, and consider that the issue, the humiliation and the insult on Aregbesola, don't you think we have effects on Oyetola coming from Elisha? You know, we believe that Rauf owns the Ijesha land, and look at maybe that one will even launch out into the issue of Omisore. Omisore, where people have been, everybody have been like, okay, he will be the national secretary of the APC. But now, as of today, there is a kind of there is an agitation from Osun APC that they don't want Omisore
as the general secretary for national general secretary. So now, considering all these factors, you know, you need this person from Ife, and you know that Ife people, they love him, and you know that he can deliver Ife for you. Now, the whole APC in Osun State are saying they don't want him at national level. So now they are fighting one of the tools that will aid or that will contribute to the success of the July 16 election. What do you think about that move?
You know, that's why I said if PDP are able to strategize very well, they're having a very strong point for them to win the upcoming election. And but this is another that I want us to understand again. You know, APC is a party that are very, very strategic.
Yeah.
Now, this omission that we're talking about now, that they were saying, okay, they were not giving him general ticket.
And 26 is the election.
It might be
confession.
Yeah, it might be as a sort of a kind of negotiation. That okay, if we are giving you this seat, what will you offer us as far as the gubernatorial election is concerned?
You know, he belongs to the party.
Yes, truly.
So he's not a newcomer again.
Truly, he belongs to the party, but you know, inside party, there is
was
party.
even law to the party based on some agreements.
Some
that
agreements.
if you come to our party and
even from
this is what we
even
give
from
to you.
Now, did you know maybe is that agreement that is holding him down as far as that party is concerned?
From the findings, most of the agreement they had with him, since they plan to present him, they are yet to fulfill it. And one of the major baits pushed to him then is senator from his angle and some honorable, which they failed to deliver. Also, the last one, the major one, key one aside monetary aspect of it, is becoming a major national leader, which now they are fighting. You know, it's very difficult in APC when you are not with the system from the beginning.
From the onset,
so
from the Alliance for Democracy to AC and the like.
So I think at this juncture, we're going to be drawing the curtain on our program today, Political Cycle. It has been a wonderful session with our guest in the house this morning, where we have been making analysis on election in Osun State, controversy within the parties in Osun State, and major stakeholders, the factors that can enhance or that can facilitate any of the major party to become victorious in the July 16 election comes 2022 this year. So in 3 months time, we're going to be having a change of power. Either we're going to have a return into power or a new change of government. That will be decided by the electorate in Osun State. But before then, we want you to be a good and a law-abiding citizen. If you are an Osun indigene, we advise you to go back home, have your PVC ready, go to your polling unit, cast your vote, and just be a good representative of our community. And don't involve or indulge in anything that will bring about disparity, that will bring about riots during and after election. So I think it is our right, it's our civil right. You have to be part of the government so that you will not be blaming any government injustice. So I think today we've had a wonderful session.
Exactly, we've had a wonderful sections on political cycles. We've discussed the state of Osun's politics and what lies ahead in July 16 gubernatorial elections. We hope the crisis in the PDP will be settled with him, Senator Ademola Adeleke and Dotun Babayemi, which will make PDP and APC to have a smooth ride. And we hope the people of Osun State would surely get your PVC in order to exercise your franchise. The state governor, which is Alhaj Isaac Boyiga Oyetola, is coming back for his second time in Osun State, and we hope all what he have done for the people of Osun will speak for him when it comes to July 16th at the poll. Like I do say, always stay tuned to AYOGEN TV. Keep watching all our entertaining news, educative news, and political psychic news. Next week, we are still coming back on board. We're bringing new analysts. We'll discuss about happenings, be it in the educational aspect, entertainment aspect, something surrounding politics in Nigeria. Until next week, that I will still come your way. I'm Adewusi Oladejabi.
And I am Charles Olowe. Enjoy the rest of your week.